I'd like to call the Budget Committee meeting for Thursday, May the 29th, 2025 to order. Before we get into business and visitor speaking, I would ask for us all to stand. Ms. Ahern, would you have a prayer for Mike Richardson? Mike's in the hospital down at Jefferson Memorial Hospital, maybe possible appendicitis, so ask a prayer.
Let's bow our heads, please. Father, we pray right now to touch Mike, Lord. Lord, help the doctors and give them the wisdom to take care of Mike. And God, we pray that he will be healed quickly, Jesus. Lord, we thank you for this body of believers, Lord. We thank you for who you are. Thank you for all that you've given us, Lord. In your name we pray.
Amen. Thank you. Is there any visitors wishing to address the committee at this time? You have 3 minutes. Not seeing none. We will move on to number 3, old business, and we do not have any. We'll move into new business. We will go to General Fund 4A 101. We're going to start with tab number 5 in your book. This budget is the county commission, and as we move through this, you'll see that a lot of the changes are from medical insurance or longevity pay. So that's going to be a lot that we address here as we start through these. You have a comment on this?
Yes, just to get us started, there's one thing that I'll back up on, if you don't mind, Chairman. If you look in draft 1 estimate, we have a sheet where in draft 2 it includes some new items. Do you have that before your desk in draft 2? You should have, and we have a general fund taken out of general fund $166,000 for the South Volunteer Fire Department that we had voted on to help fund their engine. The second one, $30,000 that I failed to mention. This is a budget item that we want to include. Our IT demands have grown considerably. We have Jeff Adkins. We have one guy. We have many demands, and those demands require him to be at 3 places at one time. And we're looking at how to fix this or give him some help. And that's what this is for us to contract some services to help Jeff when he can't keep up. Obviously, with new demands, IT is, I don't have to explain it. It's very important. Even printers. They go down and they're needed at the moment, you know, you can't wait around. So that is very needed for us to consider. The other one, correction on error, we had something that's $13,500 error that it was on an equipment item. We had the numbers wrong, did not put that in there right. It was just a typo. Tablets and equipment for our commission. Our tablets are outdated. We've got a projector that doesn't work. That's what the $14,000 is to look at upgrading the equipment for our county commission. Request remove. General Sessions 1 and 2 had requested a new employee between the two to work with them, and they see the demands of the year, and they withdrew that request. So that was, we don't have to consider that one. And juvenile court medical coverage update, we had a change in medical insurance, so we're trying to budget that. So in other words, our draft 2 now, we estimate our fund balance to be $11,279,250. wanted to update you what that was about. Now, as we move into this, as we go down these votes, if there's any questions, we'll talk about it. However you want to do it. This is not my show, it's your show. I'm just here to deliver message. That's what I'm doing, to deliver your message. But this is your show. This is your time to ask and deliberate. A lot of things that you're going to see here in our budget are they're without question. It's like longevity, insurance decreases or increases, maintenance contracts, operational costs that we cannot avoid. But there are at the bottom of your page, well, not your page, mine, I'm going to give you cheat notes as far as to what is being added that is substantial or taken away. So any question, we're going to go over this. Everybody clear?
Yes, I'd ask the commissioners, please turn your mics on
Right.
and cut your phones on vibrate, please. I forgot to do that. I apologize.
So it could be a lengthy process tonight as far as how it goes. If we get bogged down on something, we may actually set it aside and reconsider. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we move forward. All right, here we go. Tab 5, if you'll turn to tab 5, your county commission budget. The overall budget decrease is of $9,159. And draft 2 does include $14,607 for the new tablets and projectors.
Do we have a motion?
It's deliberation time. You can motion, second, and discuss.
So moved. Motion by Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Ahern?
Yes, I do. Is there any discussion?
I don't see Social Security as far as Hamblen County Commissioners. Do we not do that at all, like most employers do?
It's on there. 201.
Okay, I've looked at the wrong slot. One more comment. Because I don't feel like we have all the information, and so quite a bit we don't have, I will abstain from votes tonight, and I want that put in the record, please.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman. Yes, just asking, 399, that 7,000, is that separate from the salary survey that's, I guess, ongoing? That's a different group?
What that is we have to have a OPEB study for our retirement plan.
Right.
And that's the group that does it, USI.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was different from the one that's doing the salary survey.
Use your mic, Amanda. It's on.
Any other discussion?
You said you were going to upgrade the commission tablets. Is there any way that you can upgrade the mics, particularly the one that you're speaking from?
You can't hear me? You're not
May I
hearing me?
finish? May I finish?
Yeah.
Please, if it's not too much trouble for you. I've had several calls that when they watch the videos, they could not hear. They could not hear part of the commissioners because they weren't speaking into their mics. They were sitting way back.
How much money do you want to spend? And we'll figure it
I
out.
just want to do what's best for our
And
taxpayers.
I agree, when you talk in the mic, it works. And how do you tell somebody that's not talking in the mic, time out, talking to the mic? We can spend as much as you want, and the same problem will exist. So,
So you're telling me there's not a better mic
no,
than
I'm
what
sure
we've got?
there is. Money fixes a lot. So, Mr. Atkins, would you please evaluate the mic situation?
Well, I'm not an audio expert, but this system was designed by an audio engineer. I think that the mayor is going to come across on the recording very well tonight. I'll give it a listen in the morning. That's something I don't do. I don't listen to the finished video, but I'll give it a listen tomorrow after I do it and see if I need to adjust it more.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Your job is appreciated, sir.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab number 6, Board of Equalization. That overall budget will decrease by $13,850, and it's due to the less hearings that will be needed. This year is reassessment year, and this budget, or this fiscal year, will have more Board of Equalization meetings. Next year, we do not anticipate that, therefore that budget decreases.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ahern, second by Ms. Harden. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Move on to
Alright.
tab 7.
Tab 7, County Mayor's Budget. You'll notice that budget has decreased by $2,128 due to a change in health insurance coverage.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Holmes? Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Reed. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 8, County Attorney Budget. You'll take a notice, there is no change in that budget this year.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Quick question for the mayor, sir.
Yes.
I remember, if correctly, that commission voted to send it to the legislature to pay him besides the $1,200 he gets a year to attend the meetings. What is the status of that at this point? Did they pass that?
No, ma'am, it did not. It did not. We were accused of having it on the legislature already, and it was not. It did not meet deadline. It will be on the docket in January.
Thank you, sir, for that information.
Yes, ma'am.
Tab 9. Okay, sorry about that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 9, Election Commission. Overall budget decrease, $15,181.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion?
Question. Is that
Yes.
because we don't have but one election this year?
Yes, sir. That is based on the election cycle, and there was not an election this year.
Mr. Carden?
On the 719 item, the laptops, are those, once they're used for the cycle, what's the expectation for those?
Commissioner, I do not know how to answer that one. I'll have to get back to you on that. 22 laptops to update the poll pads. I assume there is a life cycle to that. I don't have that answer for
I
you.
didn't know if they were going to be repurposed for another department, planning or something to that effect.
Again, I do not know that answer.
Any other,
Something, if you need, we'll get that for you.
any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab number 10, Register of Deeds Budget. Overall budget increase is of $12,430, including insurance cover changes. That would be the largest increase in that budget.
Any discussion? I would like to note, you'll notice Microsoft 365 is most likely going to be in every department that we've got, so that will be a
Exactly.
increase that carries.
Yeah, that was broken out to be divided into each department, where before it was in one, under one budget or one line item, now it is evenly distributed.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 11, Planning and Zoning. The overall budget decrease of $15,926.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Carden? Any discussion?
One question.
Yes.
What did you attribute the decrease to, Mr.
The
Mayor?
medical insurance.
Thank you, sir.
There in your book, if you want to take a look at it, it's 14,780 decrease in insurance.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab number 12, Codes Compliance. Overall budget increase of $90, and that is only for longevity pay.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Horner, second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 13, GIS. That budget increases by $1,059. That is for education pay and longevity.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Harville. Second, Mr. Carden. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab number 14, County Maintenance Department. That overall budget decrease of $34,988, which would include part-time personnel no longer needed, and employee Medicare, medical insurance. Those both decrease. We have a gentleman that is retiring in that department.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Hall. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab number 15, Other General Administration, new budgeted department. It includes text MyGov being used by multiple offices, and last year it was paid out of the elections budget. And this year it is, so it's a new line item is what we have for text MyGov to take it out of the election commission. Therefore, it is an increase of $16,500.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hone. Any discussion?
I have one, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Carter?
I have something similar where I work at that's for health insurance purposes. Does this one let you see the usage of it, how many times it's accessed, and like at the end of a season to know if it's worth carrying over?
Yes, it does, but
No, I just, that way you know if it's a bust or not, or carried on the year after, that type thing.
We understand that several agencies use this. I have personally not used this yet. I've been on it and saw information, but I
Yeah.
know very little about it. That's my gut.
Yeah, I just didn't know, who would see that at the end of the year to be able to recommend it even next year, that's all.
We would confer with Mr. Adkins back here. I think Chris Bell uses it quite frequently.
Teresa uses it for jury,
There you go. To contact her people.
and then election uses it
in
for.
election, okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 16, archives and records. Overall budget increase of $588, and that is only due to maintenance agreements.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion passes.
Okay, tab number 17, Finance Department. We have an overall budget increase of $22,066 due to overlap in salaries with a retiree and maintenance agreements.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 18, Property Assessor's Office. The overall budget will increase by $7,421, and that is only due to the state mandated elected official salary increase.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner,
Second.
second, Mr. Harville. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 19, reappraisal. The overall budget will decrease by $24,775, and that is due to non-reappraisal year beginning next year. Hallelujah.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 20, Trustee's Office. The overall budget will decrease by $257, and that is due to change in insurance coverage.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 21, County Clerk's Office. Budget includes combining the clerk's office and the satellite office. Therefore, you do see increases there because of combining those two offices. We no longer pay rent at another facility, and everything's under one roof.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, but we removed another department that was the satellite office and combined it. Used to, we had two separate budgets there, and we combined it under one, just so
That's
you know
right.
that.
When you get to tab 23, we will be skipping over it because it's included in the one you just voted on.
All right. Tab 22, data processing. Draft 2 includes the 30,000 additional funds that I mentioned earlier for IT consultant or contracting with services. And also annual fees for Microsoft 365 were departmentalized. As we suggested earlier, instead of it being under one line item, each department's paying for their own agreement with Microsoft.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, we can skip tab 23. Go to tab 24. Circuit Court budget. This will include a new employee request at $29,250 a year. It's $15 an hour and associated benefits. That's what is included in this budget.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Walker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion?
When will that person, have they started, or when will
Well, they
they start?
have not started. I'm certain once the budget passes that person will be brought on again. That was kind of thrown in the circuit court lap. Chancery Court sent down an order that they will no longer do uncontested divorce cases, which put the workload over on circuit court. It created more work without unfunded mandate, what that was.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 25, General Sessions 1. Overall budget decrease of $5,313 due to a change in medical coverage.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Carden. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 26, General Sessions 2. The increase there is due to judge's salary that is sent to us by the state.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 27, Drug Court. The overall budget decrease of $22,694, state revenue of $103,000 in grant money is used to help offset expenses in this department.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmes. Do I have a second? Is that Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any discussion?
That's an increase, right?
No, sir, it
Oh.
is an actual
Please.
budget decrease of $22,000, and it is offset by state revenue of $103,000. It is actual decrease in that budget.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. Tab
28, Clerk and Master. The overall budget increase in tab 28 is $1,780 due to state set salary increase and maintenance agreements.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hahn. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab 29, juvenile court. In that budget, it will include the request for 3 positions to have salary increases that will total $11,475 plus the associated taxes and retirement benefit. Draft 2 has also shown an increase in the medical insurance due to a change in that office.
Have we got draft 2, sir?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Have we got draft 2, sir?
Yes, you did.
Missed it.
I covered those expenses tonight before I opened the meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I forgot that one. Thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Harville. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hahn. Discussion, please. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab number 30, mental health court. The overall budget is an increase of $30,000. The entire budget is offset with state funding of $180,000.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hahn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab number 31, probation services. If you look, newly formed probation court total funding of $311,469 is partially offset by our probation fee revenue. And this was a new department that was formed last year. We opened it up and funded it with $180,000 to get it off the ground. We expect this department to fund itself, but it's still in its, really not even its first year of operation. We don't know the end of the story on this yet. But currently, that's where we're at.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hahn. Any discussion?
That's $1,000 per. Is that correct?
Excuse me, sir?
Is that reimbursement $1,000 per person? Is that what it was?
I do not know that answer. How probation works, the probationers will come and see their officer, and there's fees involved, and actually, Teresa West could probably help me more on probation services and how they collect fees. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That's it. But each probationer has to come and meet with the officer, and I don't know how many probationers we have in our court system right now, but there's several.
I was
Quite a few.
thinking of Penny Knight's drug court program. That's
No,
that.
it's a little different, right, yeah.
I'm sorry,
This is under the direction of Don Baird. He's
Right.
supervising this.
Right. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? I think, Mr. Mayor, he also agreed to give us a quarterly report
He
of,
did.
of how it's
He did.
things, so.
Yeah, we want to keep an eye on it. Judge Collins helped institute this, and we do feel at the end of the day, it will sustain. But it's something that we do want to keep an eye on and see how it works.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 32. This is for courtroom security. It includes, this budget will include 4 new positions, salary benefits and startup costs, including uniforms, supplies, and that totals $268,828.
I'm sorry, you said 260, it's
Yes, sir.
278, 278.
268,000. That 278, Stan, I think, Commissioner, that includes some of the total, but 268 of that is coming from 4 new positions.
Okay, I'm with you. I thought you just misspoke. I'm sorry.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second? Motion fails for lack of a second.
I would ask that the body reconsider a motion and a second, put it on the floor for discussion to see what they would prefer to do.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Horner? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hone. Discussion. Any
The
discussion?
discussion would be, you know, if this is not something you prefer, then what is your answer? It's not like we can't pass a courtroom security budget. How do you want to adjust? Or do you want to set it aside until, for later discussion?
Well, it's something we have to have, you know, that's obvious. And I say we move forward.
Quick question, and I'm assuming this is for the new courtrooms that we're gonna have, sir?
Yes, ma'am. And keep in mind, it's not just the new courtrooms. There'll still be needed officers here. They do a lot more than just courtroom security. That's what the label is. But Sheriff, help me if I'm wrong. Courtroom security helps with transportation, correct?
They do out-of-state pickups, mental health transports, they do a number of things, civil process, board protection serving. They do walk-in reports, arrest of people that walks in.
But to your point, yes, ma'am. When the new facility opens, there'll be more needed officers for that.
Thank you for the explanation, sir.
So it's not a matter, I mean, we've got, again, you can vote to set this one aside, we can come back to it. But it's not, we have to move forward with part of the budget, or, you know, what do you want to trim?
I think one thing to remember is it's not probably going to be needed until we do open the courtrooms.
That is a
But-
good point, yes, sir.
But we would have to absorb it into the budget at that point.
That is
So I
correct.
just wanted to make sure everybody understood that.
But at that point, will we not have a lot more information as far as our tax rates and everything else that we don't have now? Which is one of the reasons that I have abstained all the way through. I don't feel I've got enough information to make an informed decision for the citizens of Hamblen County.
To explain what Commissioner Green just mentioned, the idea has always been, it's a revenue neutral reassessment year. When our tax rate comes back, it's supposed to be revenue neutral within a percentage. I'm not telling you your taxes are not going up at your home or yours is going down at your home, but it's supposed to be revenue neutral. Everything in our budget is based on our projected revenue. And at the end of the day, if we'll have all that. If something needs to be I guess amended. We need to complete our budget even before that assessment comes in. We need to have it ready to go.
Well, we know what the assessment's gonna be. I mean, it's not gonna be anything to the county-wide. And as he said, taxes, your taxes may go up $4 or $5, and your taxes may go down $4 or $5, but at the end of the day, our revenue as a county, it's gonna be, not to the penny, I'm sure, but it's gonna be what it is. The state doesn't leave us in a jam. They know we're in a budget process, so they're not holding back, saying, well, we're gonna jam these counties up. That's not their intent. That's why they do the revenue neutral, so we can move ahead. So we know what we've got. We hope for more.
Yeah, our projections are there as far as what we expect, and that, they may come in above projections. I would rather be honest with you and give you, the lowest amount, and so we don't overestimate. If we overestimate revenue, we could really put us in a jam.
Any other discussion? Who do we have on the first and second on
Did you make a motion to move forward?
So,
Official,
that? That was a motion to
Yes.
discuss, so I would ask for a motion for,
I make a motion that we accept this budget.
Second.
Mr. Warner. We have a first and a second. We'll do a roll call on this one. Yes.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain for lack of information.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
9 ayes. 9 ayes.
Motion carries.
one second, please. Okay, here we go, tab 33. Sheriff's Department budget. It includes an increase of $216,000, which includes 3 SRO officers that were not originally budgeted in the fiscal year 24 and 25, and their increased salary supplements. Mind you, this does not include the wage increase that we will discuss that later. This is their budget as presented. Any questions on the SRO we can address afterward, after the motion.
This is a decrease, right?
Not overall.
It is an increase.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 34, sexual offender registry budget. This increases for $500 due to travel for training. The only increase they have in their budget.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. Thank you for giving me time.
Motion carries.
Tab 35, jail. The overall budget is a decrease of $8,250 as a result in medical insurance updates.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Walker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 36, our workhouse. That budget, its only increase is due to longevity.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hone. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab 37, the work release program. This overall budget is an increase of $4,586, and that is due to increase in other contracted services.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hone. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 38, EMA, Homeland Security, Civil Defense Fund. This budget it includes the request for a $3,000 pay increase for the assistant and a $500 increase for EMA volunteers that help at certain events across the county.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gordon? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, other emergency management on tab 39. E911 budget, there was no request for increase in funding.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Please stay on tab 39 if you would, please. Part 2 is the request that we received from EMS to fund $208,000, $208,608 for the purchase of a new ambulance for EMS. That was included in our budget that was presented.
Would you state that total again?
No, the total is $208,608.
I would ask for a motion for discussion here, please.
Mhm.
Do I have a motion for discussion?
So moved.
Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Where would we have funds to look at funding part of this or whatever the commission decides?
Well, an option could be, for example, last year, if you recall, we funded $180,000 for their, what do you call them?
Lift beds.
Lift beds, thank you. And 75 of that came from our budget, our general fund. but 105 came out of the opioid fund to, service the county, the city, and the county. So that is an option that could be looked at. This body has the authority to do so.
What I'd like to see is the breakdown on number of calls within city and county.
I can give you that breakdown, not specifically, but in general, that breakdown, it's a story that needs to be told. 12,000 plus calls, 9,000 within the city limits, 3,000 plus in the county. However, neither one of us have to do this. This is it's its own entity. They have their own budget. They make their own money. They do their own service. What we're doing is being helpful in keeping them moving forward. They need capital projects just as anybody does, and this would be a way just. In other words, I've looked at it as a volunteer fire department, that type of thing, to be helpful, and it helps our county. But as far as funding the whole thing, I don't know.
Well,
Mr. Chairman, sorry.
No, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, may I? So what do we need to do to, I don't remember, to go before the opioid abatement? Do we need to?
Well, that request could be made here.
Okay.
And certainly, I think this body should consider possibly funding up to half. I don't see us funding the whole thing.
So, to do so, we can make a motion, or as a body, to make a motion to pay half, then go before the opioid, and they pay the other half?
Well, you don't have to go before the
Okay.
opioid committee.
Go before you?
Yeah, we can do
Okay.
that. This body makes the decision how that money is spent.
We would only be paying half, if that's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Miss Green was
Okay,
next.
yes.
Thank you. I don't care to yield to Bob if I need to. I have one question. We share city, they do city and county, correct?
Excuse me.
They do city and county.
Their services,
service both,
their
is my-
services countywide,
All right,
that's
is the
correct.
city contributing to this, or have they asked the city
I
to
have.
contribute?
I don't know that they have, but I did. I
Okay.
did, and have not heard back from them.
Thank you for your response, sir.
Ma'am.
Ms. Ron?
Yes, you alluded to, this is like our volunteer fire department. We give those guys $75,000, and I think that would be a generous offer from us, $75,000.
Is any other discussion?
So,
This money, we have the opioid money there now, we could take it?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Yes, sir, we do. We have that, and it would just be a matter of vote of this body to do
so,
But the city's not coming across.
that. They are not.
No.
As far as I know, Commissioner, I have not heard back from them.
It don't seem fair, does it?
Well, no, sir, it doesn't. And again, they view it as a county service, and
Yeah, that 9,000 calls have been done inside the city.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh,
I mean-
goodness.
Is there any other discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Harper.
I need to
Do I have a
I need to clarify
Okay.
what's on the table. So you're saying, Commissioner Hahn, that we would go forward and approve 75,000 out of our budget, and then the difference from the opioid, is that correct?
No.
Well, I'm saying that we give $75,000, just like we do with our volunteer fire department. And then, as far as opioid or whatever else they raise, then that's up to them.
Do we go before the opioid, or do they?
No.
you do not.
Okay.
We just approve if we approve whatever we approve, then we're out of it.
I understand.
I'll clarify it.
Any
All
other
right.
questions? Is there a question?
I want to make sure, Mr. Honor, you putting a motion on the floor for 75,000?
I haven't, I will make a motion that we provide $75,000.
Is
I'll
that out of the
second it.
general fund or out of the OPID?
No, out of the general,
Out of the general, just like we do
just like we do
the
the.
volunteer fire department?
Yes.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by Mr. Hone for 75,000 and a second by Mr. Walker. If there's any discussion?
Would, I guess like the animal shelter, would this, if it's not funded in full by others?
We'll address that.
Okay. I didn't know if it would be put in that reserve account or what have you.
I'm not sure exactly where you're going with that, but
Like they had to raise for the example was they had to raise 100 if.
I got you. No, that's not attached. The animal shelter, different
Animal.
setup.
Different animal.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Is there any other discussion?
I have a
Good
question.
point.
Mr. Horner?
So Bobby's got the motion, or Commissioner Hahn's got the motion, 75,000. So do we want to go to the opioid and do at least half and challenge the city to do the other half?
You could.
So that would,
I'm sorry, I need to make sure I'm clear, because follow Commissioner Horner, that who goes before the opioid? Who does that?
We do.
Okay.
This body has that is our county commission, and it's all confused. The
And we can
opioid
do it-
abatement committee would make recommendations. Every recommendation the opioid abatement committee brings to this body to confirm or deny.
So can
So
we,
this body is the stop.
so can we do that along with Commissioner Hans?
You could. I mean, Commissioner Holmes made a motion for 75 out of general fund. If you wanted to change that, split it 50-50 out of the general fund, funding 75, or if you wanted to fund 100, you could do 75 and 25. You know, this body has options.
Okay, let me amend my motion.
Yes, sir.
My motion is now 75,000 from general fund. And I've ridden in an ambulance in a life or death situation, so some of you may have, some of you may not, but when they show up, you're real glad to see them. So I'm gonna go so far as to say the balance out of opioid. That's my motion.
for half of the 208?
No. 75 from general and the rest from opioid for the total, which would be, somebody help me, 133,000?
Do you need to ask the question if you've got it there to pull from there then?
We do have.
Okay, thank you.
That's my motion.
So moved.
That would be $133,608.
Right.
Commissioners,
We've got a motion on the floor.
Would you please restate that
I'll have
amount
to have
that's
a
coming
second.
out?
I'll have to have a
You had
second.
a second.
Ms. A.
I
did
second
Debbie
it.
seconded.
Okay, she said.
that.
Clarify, Bobby, you're saying give them $75,000 out of the general,
$75,000 general fund, like we
One-
do with our volunteer fire department.
and
And then we'll-
133,608 out of,
Opioid. Correct.
So you want to fund the whole ambulance?
you're gonna fund the whole,
Because the city's not gonna do it. You know, they're not gonna do it. It's gonna be on us, and, you know, I just think it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry, we can get petty and say, well, but that means we've got 3,000 plus citizens that have been serviced by an ambulance. And I don't know how many of those were life-threatening, but if you go to them and ask them, I think they're gonna say, yeah, that sounds good. So, I think it's something we need to do.
okay.
all right, any other discussion? Do a roll call. Yes, please.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Linda Green,
Abstain for lack of information.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
No.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Al Walker.
Yes.
Motion carries. Yes. We do need to clarify that this is a one-time,
Well, yes, anything we do in this manner to any of them is one time. There's no maintenance of
fire
effort.
departments or not. Yeah, the 75,000 to the fire department is reoccurring, so
We're in agreement with them on 75 reoccurring, but not with the EMS. We are not.
I understand that about the city, and I will just say that as we move on down, there'll be opportunity. Motion carries, so we move on.
Tab 40, Civil Service Board. There is no change in that budget.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Warner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 41, Medical Examiner budget. The budgeted increase of $7,640 is due to service contracts and increased calls for the medical death investigator.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Corden. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 42, the drug court expansion. This department was formed in fiscal year 24-25, in other words, this year. Entire budgeted amount is offset by federal grant revenue.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 43, Health Department, increases in salaries, dentists, and unfilled positions are shown in this budget, but the offset is from the DGA grant from the state.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hone. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 44, Animal Control, budget increase is $378 due to the longevity and maintenance agreement.
What's that tab number?
Currently, that would be tab 44.
44.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Walker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 45, contracts with government agencies. This year, Keep America, Keep Hamblen Beautiful and the tire events and the tire grants that we do. That budget is unchanged, hold on just a second. It does increase by almost $7,000, I think. No?
It's on 45.
Sorry, Amanda, what was that?
Yes.
It's zero.
Zero increase.
I see that now, my bad, I looked at that wrong, my bad. Zero increase in this year's budget.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. Good. Tab 46, Cherokee Park budget. This budget increase due to 13% insurance premium increase and a repair cost on buildings and equipment.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 47, UT Agricultural Extension Office. There's a slight increase in that budget due to the office supply costs we're expecting for the new building at Oak Tree Plaza.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Walker, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, tab 48, Soil Conservation Service. There's a small increase here due to longevity.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 49, Stormwater Management. There's a budget decrease here of $15,000 plus $15,666 due to the medical insurance and decreased travel and stream sampling.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Walker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab number 50. This is for tourism, increases to get expenses and revenue recognized in the same budget year. Currently, we have 2 fiscal years involved with funding Cherokee Park July 4th celebration, and we're trying to pull that into 1 fiscal year budget. So therefore, you see an increase of that amount.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ahern. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion?
Just a question for the mayor, if you please.
Yes.
Is this strictly for the, like the celebrations for the 4th of July and so forth?
That is, yes, ma'am, that is mainly for that. It is. Hold on, let me get back to that page. There are other events in that, but that is, that increase is due to moving it to 1 fiscal year. There's other events involved in that, not just. Am I correct in that?
The Tennessee Disc Golf sponsorship that the county does is in that line as well.
Okay, one more question. Being that this is for all citizens and we're city and county both, does the city contribute to this as well?
I can't answer as far as what they do for our county July the 4th celebration that is our event.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
You, Miss Amanda.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 51, industrial development. Increase is due to tax increment financing expenses, but they are offset by the revenues.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hone. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion?
For previous year, the 91,000, they wrote those checks, and I did a record request to get it to the Chamber of Commerce. So if they don't need our county money, and they're writing it out to the Chamber of Commerce, who we just now voted to give to anyway, why are we giving them that money?
Ma'am, this is for recruitment. We're all in this together, and that money will go to the Chamber of Commerce to use to help bring industry to our town or other entities. That brings revenue to our county. What we're doing is giving them a small amount of resource compared, I think the city does contribute much more than we do in this regard. I don't know that number, but I think this is a warranted amount that we give them to recruit and bring industry here to keep our county thriving.
I understand that, but by my record request, some of that was for the city benefit and some of it was for the county benefit, and I don't think the county should be paying for a city benefit.
May be true.
Well, by the record request, and I'll gladly share with every one of you that wants a copy of it.
Your point, I understand, but what I'm saying, it doesn't matter who benefits. This county benefits when a new entity comes to this county. The county benefits. We're all in Hamblen County.
I understand that, but we don't need to be paying for the city. We just need to cover Hamblen County's benefit.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab 52, Veteran Services. There's a small increase for longevity and the maintenance agreement.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ahern, second by Mr. Walker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed?
Abstain. Thank you.
Motion carries.
Tab 53, Employee Benefits. The increase is because of anticipated 13% increase in workman's comp and liability insurance premiums.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hone. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Is there any discussion?
One question, if you please. I understand the workman's comp, but as far as the liability coverage, are we talking as far as someone getting hurt on the property? Or are we talking about automobile coverage? What exactly are we referring to there now?
I'll yield to Amanda on this, but I do believe it entails all that.
It does. It's for our buildings, it's for our automobiles, it's for our equipment, so all that. And covering, if someone falls and gets hurt, it's all under that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Tab 54, Miscellaneous Items. There is no change in this budget.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hone. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Move
Okay,
in.
tab 55, we're going into capital projects. This would include a $32,000 budget this year increase for, mainly, there's some flooring needs and other maintenance building improvements between the courthouses.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hall, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 55, once again, this was a $40,000 budget to prepare for a HVAC unit that may need replacing or that budget.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Ahern, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion?
Where's this HVAC in this building?
Yes. As far as, the way I understand, this building has a unit that could go. Last year, there was one on the annex that went. And it's not just for one unit, it's to prepare for
Right.
what ifs. But yes, I do think he anticipates changing a unit and prepared for others.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 55, item number 3, capital projects. Vehicle for the property assessor's office. They have a 10-year-old vehicle that he would like to surplus and replace. And that budget is estimated to be $40,000.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Horner, do I have a second?
Second. Ms. Ahern?
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? Will that be bought off of the state bid?
I'm sure it will be. Obviously, and it'll definitely go through that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Tab 55, capital projects, once again, library capital improvement. There's a request for $30,000 for roof repair. This is equally split with the city government.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Harville. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 55, once again, this is for the Humane Society. Just to remind you, this is a $200,000 capital match. If the agreement was, if they raise $100,000 for their building fund, that we contribute 200. Okay, it's 100 to match plus 100 that we had committed. So it'll be, we're expecting that to happen this year. Last report was they're at 14,000 shy, and we are anticipating that to hit their mark this year, and that this will be actually spent.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion?
Question.
Yes, Mr.
This, is this split between the county and the city?
not to the point you're talking about. The city does contribute to the Humane Society, yes. They had already gave them their portion of this a couple of years ago, of what we have held back until they had their match. Our deal was they had to raise money before we gave. The city gave them in front.
Any other discussion?
I have one question.
Yes.
Any idea how much the city gave them? I'm just curious, spends it's 100,000.
And I do not know at this point. I've heard that number. I'd just be guessing. I don't know that.
Thank
I
you.
want to think it's, was 100,000, but I do not know that for sure.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
The next item in capital projects is the Hamblen County Sheriff's Department. 2 vehicles are requested, total of $114,000.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do I have a second? Mr. Harville. Any discussion?
Question, what kind of you gonna get? What kind of vehicles you decide you're gonna get? A Dodge or
Ford
Ford?
Explorer SUVs.
Pardon?
Ford Explorer SUV.
Okay.
Any other discussion? We'll take a roll call on this one, please.
Debbie Ahart,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain for lack of information.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Robbie Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Al Walker.
Yes.
Nine yes, one abstain, four abstain.
Motion carries.
Still on tab 55, capital projects. Cherokee Park has requested a vehicle, and that is budgeted for $30,000. They're looking for a used vehicle to replace an older, high-maintenance vehicle.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion?
This a truck?
I assume, Commissioner, that is what they will go for. It fits their needs, would be a
Just to
truck.
be used at the park?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Probably be a truck then.
It is.
Car wouldn't come in handy.
It is a truck.
Commissioner Long
It is
understands
a
it to
truck.
be a
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you can't get much for 30,000.
Well, they're looking for a used vehicle at that, Wayne.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, we're gonna move into tab 56, our nonprofits. First on that list is the Marshtown Parks and Recreation. We currently fund that about $300,000 a year. They have requested $200,000 additional funding. I think the floor is open for,
I would ask for a motion for discussion.
there you go.
Motion for discussion.
Got a first and second by Mr. Walker and Mr. Reed.
I'm not finding that.
Didn't need
You find it, isn't it?
to- no. Okay, thank you.
Just to give you a little information, last year we funded them $300,000. They're asking for additional $200,000.
Okay, I got it.
This is where I said we'd look at it down the road, so we're at the road crossing. Mr. Neesmith.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we put this on hold, that we don't, give them more than what we gave them last year. Give them the same amount we gave them last year, don't give them no increase.
We have a motion.
What was it last year?
Last year, we gave them 300. That's what, we have gave them 300 over the last several years. We have not, they've requested 200 additional, like, those several years. But we have maintained our 300,000 level.
I'll second that.
I will remind this commission that they just took $150,000 away from us for SROs. We have a first and a second by Mr. Neesmith and Mr. Reed. We'll have to need to do a roll call on this one.
So may I have a question?
Yes.
So the motion is that we go ahead and give them the 300,000 that we have in the past, correct?
Yes, that's the motion that's on the floor.
I have a question, I'm trying to put it in words. I know what I want to say. Our total budget, we know, we are, what, 4 million in the hole?
Possibly more. We passed some items tonight that will increase, and we've not even discussed pay raises yet.
Correct, so 5 million in the hole. Just,
I would estimate 5 million.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
sure. I mean,
We have a motion on the floor, so,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I should,
if you want something different, then we'd have to vote on this motion and
Understand. Thank
then
you.
come back.
Thank
But
you.
you can discuss.
Yes.
You can amend.
You could amend.
I'm not, my statement, if I need to put in a question or a motion, I will. I'm not sure we can afford another 200,000. Doesn't sound like. But I don't know.
We're not voting to give another 200,000. The motion on the floor is for 300,000, same as last year. Is that correct?
Right.
I'm not sure we can afford 300,000.
I'd like to ask Mr. Neesmith if you'd amend your motion to make that $150,000 and take that extra $150,000 and put it toward the SROs.
Amen.
Okay, so instead of being 300, it'd be 150?
Yep.
Okay, I make that amendment, instead of giving them 300, I make a motion that we give them 150,000.
Mr. Reed, will you amend your second?
Yes.
Okay. We have a first and second on the floor. We'll need to do is there any discussion on that?
Comment, please. Go ahead.
Yes.
What do they use this for? Is there a?
Well, it's our contribution to them. Their argument is that there's more county residents that use the Parks and Recreation than the county. That is their argument. So it's like, it's a balance here. You know, we're doing this and they're doing that. I mean, I agree with the thinking here to balance the budget kind of thing. Balance the weight. It's not a bad idea.
Well, we also know, excuse me, we also know that they are going to a fee-based system. So anybody that goes to play baseball, football, whatever, they're gonna pay a fee to play.
Is that gonna be at everything that
That's
they
at everything.
control?
Yeah.
Thank you for the information. I wasn't aware of that.
The grandkids that pay.
Yeah.
That's been going on.
Is there anything?
I know it's been going on, but it's gonna go up.
Is there any other discussion? Let's do a roll call.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
I'll abstain.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Al Walker.
Yes.
8 yes, 2 abstain. 2 for us.
One clarification I'd like to be made here, that motion just passed for funding Marshtown Parks and Rec 150 and the other 150 go toward SRO. What that'll do is just be in general fund. It won't be specific, but it will go toward.
Motion carries.
And if they want more money next year, they'll have to come back and ask for it.
I agree with you, Commissioner.
Move on to,
Tab 56, next one is stepping out ministry.
School board,
This
you
is new
next.
funding that's been requested. That page
do I have
is,
a motion? I might have stepped ahead of you there, Mayor. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's fine.
Apologize.
I believe that was for 10,000?
Yes.
Stepping Out Ministries has requested from this body to add $10,000 to their funding as a nonprofit.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Holmes, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Aaron. Any discussion? We'll do a roll call.
I got a question for this roll
Oh,
call.
okay, go ahead.
You know, we've had mats on there for a long time, and we're just giving them $8,000 a year. And this year I had a bull riding out there, and I give it the match board. They told me if they, whatever they sold at sponsorship, they could get it. So they made, last year they made 8,400. This year they made 8,600, which was money that I just gave them. So I don't think we need to be giving some new group off the street $10,000 when they've been around for quite a while, and they're the only place that's helping mainly for people that don't have a place to live, for the homeless. That's what theirs is. It's the homeless shelter.
Mr. Neesmith, you'd be able to address that when we get on over to the nonprofits that we gave to last year. These are new ones coming before us.
You just gonna get the new ones?
Yes, this is just a new one.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna give the new one.
Any
You wanna
other
give old.
discussion?
Stepping Out Ministries.
Do a roll call, please, for the 10,000.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Linda Green,
Abstain.
Sam Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Lund,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
No.
Mike Reed,
No.
Al Walker.
No.
6 yes. 3 no, and I stand 4 absent.
Motion carries.
You need a timeout.
How'd that
Motion
work?
carried.
Motion carried. Okay, the next one is Hamblen County Substance Abuse. They have requested $5,000, new funding. This body has never been funded by this body.
Yeah, I've been funded in the years past.
It has not. Substance abuse has not. The Substance Abuse
Tom
Coalition.
Heights group,
Excuse me?
that Tom Heights old group? Yeah, Tom Heights, yeah,
There
he
you
got
go.
funded.
I did
He
not
got
remember
funded.
that. Yeah, it was Paul Hyde, that's correct.
Paul Hyde.
Paul Hyde's group,
Paul
yes,
Hyde, yeah.
yes, there we go.
Yeah, he got funded. He died.
We did give them money
In and
through
out of
the
it.
Yeah, I thought he was.
opioid.
Come and go.
Yes, this body is funded through the opioid abatement committee, so our legislative body has funded them through opioid abatement money. They're coming to us to ask for additional money.
On top of it.
Yes, yes. That is correct.
Do I have a motion?
May I ask a question, or do we need to wait?
Just wait a second.
Sir, thank you.
Fails due to a lack of a motion. We could discuss it now.
Did the opioid committee give them any money?
Yes.
How much did the opioid committee give them?
I'd have to go back and look, but it went through this body as far as, when you say the opioid abatement committee, they recommended to this body,
And we voted
this
on it.
body voted it, okay? So be, you know, I
I'd
don't- I
forgotten,
don't wanna
thank
get-
you.
I don't wanna
I'd
get that
forgotten. I'll go
confused.
back and look, thank you,
Yeah.
I'd forgotten, sir.
I don't
thank
wanna
you.
get confused that,
All right, at this time, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess. I think some people want to visit.
Amen.
Thank you a lot, Rodney.
I'm just old. I'm just old.
Come on, Moses, get in here.
Let's get back to order, and so we can finish up. And,
Come on, young man.
I do want to, just to clarify, the Hamblen County Substance Abuse, they received $10,000 last year, and that come from the OPID money, just to clarify that
I did not
for
remember
everybody.
the number. Excuse me?
In March.
In March, yeah, it was this year that we did that.
We move on now to,
If you wanna know, Stepping Out was funded also partially by opioid abatement earlier this year.
go to 56, where we'll be voting on the nonprofit funding. It didn't get a motion. Yeah, yeah. So we're on 56-4.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Tab 56, the vote on all other nonprofit funding. We've gone through the new changes or the new request, and now the existing funding is now before you.
I'll ask for a motion to do discussion on these. I'm quite sure there's going to be some questions maybe. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hone. Second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Does anyone have any questions about any one of them? Because we'll just vote all of them together.
I've got a question
Yes,
about
ma'am.
one, this, Learning Welcome Center, $45,000. That's where Latino people, or it could be Cuban people, which are Latinos, they're teaching them to write their name and spell in English, which benefits the school when they get them, when they get these kids. If they already know how to read English and all that, they benefit from it, so, but I don't know, first time, I think that's pretty, 45,000.
What,
Wayne, we did fund them last year, Wayne, at this same amount. This is a recurring. The ones we're discussing now are those that we've
Yeah, I
already
know
done. Okay.
I know.
I mean, in other words, we did fund them last year, $45,000.
And
And-
these amounts are the same.
That's correct.
These
There's no
amounts are the
increases.
same that we did last year.
Mr. Chairman, and also, they do that, but they do a lot more too. Having been a principal in an elementary school, when I had kids or families come in that I couldn't communicate with, it was very difficult to try to get them registered, to try to figure out anything. That's a lot of what they do. They're able to communicate, and this is, not only in speaking Spanish, but Japanese and whatever else shows up. So this, is really a really help to the school system.
Yes, sir.
All of these we funded last year at
Yes,
this
sir.
amount.
What we did before, everything that we've already discussed was new funding requests. What's before you now is the same as last year. This body has the option to change that funding, but these are the requests that are before you. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Quick question. Does the school, I remember reading something, but it's been a while. So does the school have a program like this? Are we double dipping it? Are we doing the same thing twice is what I'm asking?
Not that I'm aware of. The school system also partners in this venture, I do believe, because again, just as Commissioner Harville suggested, it does help with registration. They hold registration days for kids to come there, and they help get them lined up and in the right places. To your point,
That's at the 150.
my understanding, the school system is also involved in this same project.
And they pay for a couple of employees with this.
So they contribute
Yes,
as far as the
they-
That's
no,
employee?
correct. That's right.
Do they contribute further than the employees
yeah.
is my question.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that they do.
Well, does the
Supplies,
school-
things like that.
Thank you, sir.
The school system, do they fund HOLA?
I don't know if they fund OLA, but they help fund this welcome center. I do not know.
It's a partnership with OLA.
That's what I think. It is a partnership with OLA, but I can't answer the dynamic of that one.
Am I understanding correctly that this is a partnership with OLA, so are we double dipping it?
No, ma'am, this is a separate, it's at OLA, okay? It's at their building. This is a program, it's a welcoming center within OLA, OLA's organization. That is correct. But it is separate because this is more geared toward school-aged kids and families, trying to get them acclimated to our area. A big portion of that is registering kids for school and getting them in the right place.
The school system does furnish 2 employees. Wait,
Mayor, so before we vote, I just want to be sure, it's just a small increase. Helen Ross McNabb did ask for a $200 increase on the New Hope assessment. The cost per assessment did not increase, just the number of assessments that they anticipate. So it's just $200 different, but if you were to vote to keep it the same as last year, we would need to look at that, and the youth emergency shelter, it's a difference of $100.
So my mistake, I was wrong. There are increases in Helen Ross McNabb of $200 and youth emergency shelter of $100.
any other questions?
I just got one general. Obviously, all these organizations are, they squeeze pennies. Just at the end of the year, do they provide a generic audit of such for all the organizations that provide funds to them?
I can't answer specifically.
So Jamie, on our website, there is a tab for nonprofit funding. And what we do, we ask each one to submit their financials,
Okay,
a
that's
copy
what
of their 501c3, and a budget for next year.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
that, we do request that when they submit
All
their
right.
funding
All right,
request.
thank
I
you.
didn't know about, he mentioned audit. I'm sure they are audited in some way
Yes.
because of 501c3.
Right, many, if not most, they do provide an audit as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And we've,
Miss
to
Amanda.
add to that, we've got a couple of nonprofits, one of them's a very worthy nonprofit, but they refuse to have financial disclosure, so they get nothing.
Yeah.
And if I may, Miss Amanda,
Yes.
isn't it by IRS law, it has to be available if it's a 401c3? If I remember correctly from what I read as a tax preparer, it has to be there. You make the request, you can see it. By law.
Is there any other discussion? I would ask for a motion, but that motion will have to include the increase of $300
That's correct.
over what we funded last year. Do I have a
Yeah,
motion?
Mr. Chairman, one other thing, now, that's gonna, we're also the Marshtown Recreation Board, we need to show that.
True. That is minus. We'd already voted on that because
Right.
that increase, that
Right.
is, that
We've
will
all-
exclude that.
We've already voted on it
Yeah.
and the Marshtown Emergency Medical Services.
Okay,
We've done
just
that.
wanna make sure of that, yeah, okay.
And the library. So we'd need a motion to approve with $300 increase.
So
Do I have
moved.
a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Horner?
Second,
Do I have a second?
second.
Mr. Hong? Is any other discussion? We'll do a roll call on this one, please.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Emma Green,
Abstain.
Dan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Bond,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
And I'll abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 57, sanitation fund 116. This includes adding $500,000 of investment income that we have moved from debt service fund, and this will help cover the purchase of a new sidearm garbage truck. There's an increase in disposal fees, maintenance cost, and repair cost, overtime costs, additional software. Result that we will use $516,000 of our fund balance. This would leave enough fund balance to cover 4 months of recurring expenses, but it is an unbalanced budget. We're using $500,000 of
Do
our
I
fund
have-
balance.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harville. Discussion? Questions?
I got one.
I mean, we,
Mr. Gordon?
The one on here that says other, it's line 399, the other contracted. What is that exactly? The J turn? Is that related to
That's
the,
a different budget now.
That's the new software that they asked for. I don't know what.
It's J-Pro. It's a computer system to read the engines, get the codes out of the engines.
oh, okay, all right,
Yeah, we use it at my place.
okay. There's another there's one that I'm familiar with that's not related, so that's why I asked. Okay.
Quick question. Now, this doesn't take into consideration the raises that they have asked for as well, correct?
No, there is no
They've not
salary
asked.
compensation in any of this discussion.
Mr. Chairman, we already voted to buy this, purchase this truck, right?
No.
This is an additional.
Not.
This is an additional. We have one on order now, and that's been kicked down the road, I don't know how many times. This, we funded a rear loading truck, and this is a new, want to go ahead and get our name in the hat for a new sidearm. That's what this is.
But
Any
we have
other
no
dis-
idea when that'll show up.
No, sir, I don't have that information.
The one we ordered is, they're saying July, maybe sometime between July and maybe October.
The 28th.
No, yeah, maybe.
Which
Might be
means we
one
don't have to spend
September.
this money till we get it, right?
Well, if they order it, we have to.
Oh,
Is there any other discussion? Do a roll call, please.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Sammy Carden,
Yes.
Amy Green,
Abstain.
Sam Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
and Kyle Walker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 58. Drug Control Fund, number 122. This vote will be for using $22,855 in that fund balance, but that could very well, it could vary based on our proceeds from confiscated property.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Walker, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wait, just,
I have made a mistake. So that use of fund balance is 67,781. I was looking at the wrong column when I gave you that information, Mayor.
Let's all clarify that together then.
Right, so if you go to tab 58 on the last page, the number I gave the mayor was the estimated results for this year. It should have been using 67,781 of fund balance.
I see that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
see
sorry,
that.
I
That's all
apologize.
All right, so let's back up and clarify that this vote includes using fund balance of $67,000 and $781.
Mr.
Again-
Walker, you amend your
Yeah.
58. Mr. Hall, you,
I do, yes.
call the roll on the, if there's no other discussion, call the roll. This one.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Amy Carden,
Yes.
Amy Green,
Abstain.
Sam Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Tab 59, Highway Fund 131. This vote will include using $93,789 in the fund balance, and that mainly is due to the increase in salt, which I have on hand for inclement weather, and also equipment and parts.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hall, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? Do a roll call, please.
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Eddie Green,
Abstain.
Dan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hines,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Eastman,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Al Walker.
Yes.
Nine, one abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay. Now we'll move into a cost of living increase discussion. Now I think, Chairman, you might want to let the body just open the floor and
Yes.
and begin deliberations before you take a motion on this one. There's probably a lot to consider.
Floor is open for discussion.
Before you, in our overview, we suggested a 3%, 4%, or a 5% increase for all county employees. And we broke that down, if you recall, in our overview. Hamblen County Sheriff's Department has requested a 10% increase. These are all on the table for discussion.
Have we got that sheet in our packet, sir? Have we got that sheet in our packet? I'm lost, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was in the original budget overview that I presented. Excuse me. Slide 20. That's right, or page 10 on in your packet,
Okay, thank you.
but it is slide 20. So those are some numbers to consider of what that would cost. For example, a 3% increase across all employees of Hamblen County, $443,000. That is non-Hamblen County Sheriff's Department. If you add the Sheriff's Department in the 3% increase, that adds another $261,000. Does everyone have their overview?
No.
No.
We don't know which one you're on.
Okay,
We have two here.
You on this?
no, not that one.
Page 10.
Page 10 of that one. You're right. I was there, didn't know it.
Can you put that on the board? He's gonna try to put it up on the board. On the screen, excuse me, for us.
Sure.
Oh,
Body's got a lot of
Okay, that'll work. Slide this out of the way.
Don't matter the water.
Okay.
You'll be wanting another break in a minute.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, when's the last time the county employees received a raise?
It was last year. We voted a cost of living raise in last year. I believe it was 3%. Was it 5?
I thought it was 5.
Oh, forgive me.
I think it was 3. I thought it was 3, I don't know.
I thought it was 5.
It may have been, I don't know.
We'll go forward and split the difference.
It was 5.
It was 5. My
Five.
mistake.
2 years ago, it was 3.
You know,
So-
Commissioners, it's a tough environment.
So basically, it doesn't matter 3% or 5%, there's not any money there, correct?
That is correct. Everything that we do will need to be reflected otherwise. Now, I'm going to tell you again, that this body, whatever this body just comes up with, we can sustain 1 year. It's not exactly a good business model to dip into fund balance by up to $5 million if that's the end of the day. Revenue may jump up, expenses may come down. It may not be exactly that. But I'm giving you the flat line. It's not a good business model to dip into fund balance by $5 million. You can do that this year, and then we can still sustain. We'll get yelled at from Nashville.
But we can do it.
You can do it.
Is that including the sheriff's department as well?
That is not that does not.
But Mayor, if I'm correct, we could not do that next year.
No, sir. No, that model will not sustain. You have 1 year available to dip into fund balance to that level. That is it.
Good.
Understand, most all this is operational cost. When 85% of any budget pretty much is payroll. We've got, y'all know the story. We've got folks that are, it's a tough environment. Let's just discuss. You know, a garbage truck operator, less than $14 riding the back of a truck. Corrections officer that we need. We gotta have. These are tough decisions that's before this body. It's operational costs. It's the time that we're in. It's a wave that's crashing on shore. Between one thing or the other, when you think about maintenance agreements, longevity, when you think about insurance, and then you think about salary. That's these costs, and they're coming home. We've borrowed and moved pennies and done pretty much everything we can. Now, I'm not telling you it's the doomsday here, but I am trying to point out the worst case scenario.
Can we not hold this till we get the salary study to know more? I know we're losing people simply because they go somewhere else and make more money. I've heard it more than once. But can we not hold this till we get the salary study to at least have enough information to make an informed decision?
I'll say this on the salary study. We do expect it this year. I don't know when. I think it'll be after the budget. I do. And I can't answer you any otherwise. We had a preliminary meeting this week, and the gentleman is working hard. He still doesn't have all the information. He's working at it. We don't expect that to come before even July or August. So that, what I'm getting at, what she said is, you know, that's a negotiation. But I think we are at a point we've got to move forward. We've got to look at something, and what she said is not wrong. Wait on a salary study, but there's some positions that we know that are most likely underpaid. The cost of living raise is one thing, but we have some positions that probably need salary increases, plain and simple.
So, excuse me, so does that mean, if you're saying that we could, the salaries that you've given us now, we can dip into fund balance for these for one time? Is that what you're saying?
You could, Commissioner,
Okay,
but it
But-
is not
it's not
a
wise.
sustainable model.
Right, it's not wise. So if it's not wise, and we're not even talking about any type of raises for the sheriff's department, so the next step is what?
Well, let's back up. When I say this body can suggest some things, and we'll take and get some numbers
Sure.
put together and bring you back what
So-
that cost will actually look like.
So basically, if we're looking for, if we did 5 million this year out of fund balance, it's not sustainable. We have to do something either this year or next year.
That's correct. Are you-
Make up that
I mean, you
5
may even look at, again, I'm giving you hopefully the worst-case scenario.
Sure, but you don't know.
I don't know. I don't have that crystal ball.
I didn't know I was gonna have car trouble this week either,
Exactly,
so you don't know.
exactly.
And you have to get in the savings account, do we not?
That said, you may, find a way to find the middle. You may, if you decide that you want to go above the certified rate at some point, you may do part of it. And wait and see. I mean, we have a facility that's not opened up yet. We've got a number of factors that are not, we don't have all the pieces as far as the end of the day. We do expect the Jail and Justice Center to open this year, and those expenses will be incurred. Not only compensation for employees that we need to add, but also utilities, new insurance. There's a lot of expenses that are coming with this operation, not just here, Oak Tree Plaza. That's another, new facility that we'll be involved with. Most of the
So,
employees there, go ahead.
So inevitable, we could do it this year, but next year we cannot. So,
Is correct.
so basically, there needs some type of income to be raised. I hate to say the word
Revenue,
taxes, but
Revenue,
yes. So we're gonna have to raise taxes somewhere, correct? It sounds like. I mean, and no one wants to talk about it, and I understand, but what else are we gonna do?
That is correct. That is what's before the body that we'll have to consider. You have two choices. You cut or you fund. That's the choices.
I want to make sure I'm kind of looking at numbers here. On 5% from the general fund, that'd be 303,795 for the non-Hamblen County Sheriff's Department employees. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Plus the 56,060 for sanitation,
That is correct. Comes out of their fund balance.
plus 69,575. So
That
you're
is
looking at
correct.
450,000 roughly.
Yes, sir.
And then if you did the 10%, you're looking at probably $1.4 million or
That is
$1.25
correct.
million,
Yes, sir.
somewhere right in there.
Yes, sir.
Now, quick question,
Yeah.
is that taken into
Just a
cons-
minute, just a
all right,
minute, just a
I
minute,
apologize.
I know, you're looking at, well, you're doing 5% for these others and 10% for the sheriffs, but I'll just tell you, I wouldn't strap on a gun and go do it for any of it. They're grossly underpaid, we saw that. Sometimes this difference is fair, and it has to be done. I just want to throw those numbers out there, because that's kind of what we're looking at. But I know nobody likes to talk about taxes, but if we're going to have services, we're going to have taxes.
I agree.
It's that plain and simple. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Quick question, what you were looking at, is that taking into account the 30 extra officers, if I remember your presentation correctly, sir, that we were gonna need?
Yes, that includes
Yeah, that
a
includes
fully staffed jail and justice center.
For 100, in other words, 100 officers at the sheriff's department?
That's correct. That's what these estimates are.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Mr. Harville.
Mr. Chairman,
Just to put another number out there, at the 4%, if you add back the $150,000 and add back the OPID money back, you're looking at close to $11 million left in the fund balance. Went 4% and done it across the board, everybody. Throw that number out there.
So I suggest, as y'all are deliberating, I think this is healthy. Get it out on the table and figure it out. You suggest something, we'll go work some numbers and maybe get back to you on that. Correct, Finance Director?
That's wrong.
I think we're very fortunate to live where we live, and have the lowest property taxes in probably East Tennessee. If you go to other counties and see what their tax rate is and what they're paying, and they don't have near the facilities and the stores, the restaurants that we have, and we're still down there. But at some point, you know, it's gonna catch up with us. And, you know, I don't like property taxes anyway, but that's what funds our county. And, you know, I'll just leave that out there, so.
So, to Commissioner, I'm sorry.
I mean, and I know we're talking about 10% for the sheriff's department. But you know, and I talked about this the other day, 10% more on what we're hiring in our officers at,
Nothing.
we're still not
Nothing.
where other places are bringing in their officers at. We're still underneath that standard, if I'm correct. Chad, you can tell me if I'm wrong.
You're correct. I have it here. You're correct.
10% would be $1.70.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about $1.70 raise, and I know it seems like, again, it's a lot of money when we're talking about $1 million or whatever. But when you call that sheriff's department out to your doorway, if somebody's broken into your house, somebody's hurt your kid, or something like that, is $1 million worth the risk? Okay? And it's not. I mean, we need to, and I understand the jail is a big thing, and we all talked about it. But we gotta take care of our guys on the street. I mean, we need to take care of them. And when something happens, we want the best of the best answering that call. We don't want the person that couldn't get on at any other sheriff's department. So let's go to Hamblen County, they'll take anybody. And that's about what we're getting right now. Am I correct?
We've lowered our standards now. We're from, used to be 21 years of age. We've got to
19.
drop it to 18 just to try to get more
Yeah.
people applying
And they're coming into 18, getting experience, and when they hit 21, where do they go?
somewhere else.
Somewhere else. That's why, I mean, we've got to do it.
Sheriff, you give, like, deputy comes in 3 years of experience,
If they come in, we don't, usually they promote from the jail to court security, but I have hired people, business sense, that come from Marshtown PD that's been there for 8 or 9 years, that's got all the certifications, they're trainers, then we have brought them in with not the bottom salary. But that doesn't happen a lot.
Mr. Chairman.
You were talking about the opioid, we're not figuring that into being able to use for this, correct?
No, you can't use it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I understood correctly. Thank you.
So, may I ask a question? Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If we decide as a body that, yes, we want our employees to have raises, and yes, we want the sheriff's department to have what they need, like Mr. Harville said, 1.5 million, how do we get that now? So I know it's, 1 cent is 160,000, so how do we get this right here?
You figure on certified tax rate will be increased. And at the end of the day, we can base it on today's dollars. I'm afraid to be too hypothetical here. We do not know what that rate's gonna be.
You don't know what a
We
penny's
don't know
gonna
what a
be.
penny's gonna be worth, and we hope to find that out 1st of July. The point is, do you recommend, I mean, if it's gonna scare you at 162,000, it's gonna scare you at whatever the next one is as well. And one thing, finance director has talked to me about, we need to let the state know that we expect to exceed the certified rate. And at this point, I mean, the discussion may lead to the idea that this body may plan on exceeding the certified rate. I mean, just the sheriff's department alone, $870,000 to fund their requests. That's recurring expense. I've already alluded to the fact we cannot sustain this model without revenue.
So we need to,
You'll have to. You will have to look at increasing revenue unless everybody wants to pitch in.
Question.
Yes.
Sheriff's Department asking for 10%. Is there gonna be a COLA on top of that?
I would recommend no. You know, if you give them 10% this year, I think it's fair enough that you do that. You know, and exclude that COLA on that department. That is their COLA.
Question. What we voted on today, is that final? Or when we're
What-
finished, can we go back and look at?
Well, you can. I mean, this is a budget committee. This budget committee has passed everything to this point. Now it will go to the full commission, and you can always amend or change. Excuse me.
Question. Our tax rate, what, 197 now?
It is $1.97,
thing.
$1.97 per $100 of assessed value.
So if it comes back, say, 122,
Yes, sir.
could we add to that?
Yes, that's what this body would have to do. If you want to discuss this for a moment, hypothetically, only hypothetically, when our rate comes back, we do not know where that's going to land yet. But when the state sends us back our certified rate, let's just say it could be $1.30. $1.30. And we expect it to drop considerably. We've added $1 billion of property value in our county. That rate is definitely going to come down to make it revenue neutral. There's no doubt about it. It's coming down. How far, I don't know, and I don't want to mislead you guys and giving you some number that just say, oh, wow. I don't want to do that. So let's say it came down to $1.30. By the figures I have, we'll be the lowest tax county around. Nobody can touch us as far as assessed value, $100 assessed value rate. That said, what you would do then, you take your certified rate, you equal what your needs are, and you raise that rate to according to what a penny would be. I can't estimate that, but let's hypothetically guess that a penny may go as much as 200,000 or more. Does that make sense? So, you need $2 million to balance, you're gonna need 10 bids. There you go. I mean, that is a hypothetical answer for you to consider.
So our tax rate would, by what you're analyzing here, is 130 would be 140,
That's correct. You would make it to 140.
and we're still 50 cents under what where we're at
Well,
now.
I have an updated list. The lowest taxed county around us, we understand right now, and everybody's assessed around us. Jefferson County right now is at $1.43. We understand they're looking to raise their 6 cents. That would be the closest to us right now. Greene County, for example, assessed last year, and they're at $1.65. Our rate, it may very well stay under $1.50 even if you raise taxes. And again, no one here wants to do this.
No.
This is not like a pleasant topic. This is something that I know this body, I've been a member of this body since 2018. We've raised taxes one time, and that was 3 cents in 2020. And that too was in a reassessment year. The tax rate came in at $1.94. We added 3 cents to it, went to $1.97 for county residents. Okay? That's what this is before this body, though. I mean, it's some hard questions. But again, you find the revenue or you cut the other side.
But we can't hypothetically do it. We have to do it. there's no hypothetical in it. We have to do what we know.
I'm just giving you
Sure.
examples hypothetically, but you're right. It is a hard answer. It is a hard answer. There is no doubt about it. This is operational cost that is hitting us. Our employees need help. Our services need help. These are things that have, if you, for lack of a better term, they've crept up on us.
We've been
Hold on one second.
Quick question. If we didn't, and I'll use the sheriff's department for my example, so I'll apologize to both of you before I ask this question. Not too long ago, we voted to give Chief Ellis, for lack of a nicer word, a bump up of 10,000. Now, I don't know about you, I know that there are people below that, jailers or so forth, that do not make anywhere near that amount. Do we have to take, as far as the 10% or whatever, can we not level out the folks that are below the standard instead of getting folks on up here that are above the standard?
Commissioner, that is up to this body. If you want to pick and choose and cherry pick or a la carte, that's up to you. I just suggest to you, if you start doing that, it will compress or it'll create other issues.
Like what?
Well, I think,
Morale,
excuse me?
morale.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you give the bottom something and don't move that up the ladder, then it creates problems.
I would ask in this discussion that we not bring up someone's name. It's all right to bring up the subject, but do not bring up someone's name, please. Mr.
Mayor.
Long?
One, and I agree with the standard. You mentioned the word below standard, above standard. Okay, that's, again, what's the standard? Where are you gonna draw the line? If you wanna give someone a 10% raise and the other person gets a 3% COLA, where is the line? Where do you draw the line?
Well, I would recommend you look at the other counties to see where we're losing our employees at.
Well,
that
we've looked at that.
Well, just a minute, that we desperately need, and the sheriff's department and the garbage department would be my two pet examples of that. If I understood those gentlemen correctly, they're losing employees to other counties simply for more money. Now, if I misunderstood, Mr. Chief Mullins, excuse me, Chief Ellis, Sheriff Mullins, correct me. But
Commissioner, what that is, though, when you say other counties, they may lose some to other counties, but what they're losing to is better paying jobs.
Well, that's what I was referring to, sir.
I mean, other entities in our county, not necessarily another county.
But
I think-
again, where do you draw the line?
You
I mean, you
look
said
at
above the standard, below the standard, you draw the line. What are you saying? If you're making, or a patrolman making $41,000 a year, do they get 10% or 3%?
You would look at what your other counties are paying, which if I understood correctly, that was part of what the sheriff brought out the other day. Maybe I misunderstood him. If I did, I apologize.
But I work as hard at my job as a patrolman.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
And so
Thank you,
why do
sir.
I not get a raise when I do my job as a professional? And he's doing his job as a professional. I've been here 25 years. I've worked up through the ranks. He's still a patrolman. You see what I'm saying?
I
You
see
know,
what you're saying.
You want longevity. You want people to be around. You can't treat these up here just because they made it to the top through years of work and service, education. Boom. Now we're saying we're not giving you a raise, but we're going to give a raise to these guys. That's just not fair. That's not feasible. That's not right. And these guys up here, they may stick around, but these guys come up, they're saying, well, I've hit the ceiling. Boop, I'm gone.
Rodney? Yes, Mr. Chair. You know, I think what we don't understand with this, and I see this a lot in the model of business that I'm in. 3 years ago, our minimum wage, or say 4 years ago, minimum wage $7.25 an hour, which we still are in the state of Tennessee. The problem is minimum wage is $12, $13 an hour right now. You've got employees doing jobs at 4 years ago, if we were paying our police officers $17, $18 an hour, they're $10 over minimum wage. They're making great money. Now, they're $3 or $4 over minimum wage. Same way with the employees that have been there for years. They worked hard to get to $5 over minimum wage. Well, if we don't increase their pay, now they're only $3 over minimum wage of an employee that just come in. We're punishing them.
Exactly.
I mean, the problem is, that's the bad thing. You've got to, if we're gonna do it, we gotta do it across the board. As hard as it's gonna hit us, we've got to make that, because if we don't, the problem is gonna be in everybody's eyes out there, when we talk about a tax increase or raise, they're gonna come back with two things. That's why you reappraise my houses, to get more tax money, and you're doing it because of the big giant jail out there. That's not why we're having to do this. We're having to do it because our county's in hard times right now. If we want the best people to operate our county, we're gonna have to pay them. Because the problem is, the average county employee can go work at McDonald's or Burger King or anywhere else and make what we pay them in the county, because they're not looking at the county benefits they're gonna get. The insurance is not attracting this 20 to 25-year-old employee, because they don't think they're never gonna get sick. They don't care about the insurance benefit. They don't care about the retirement benefit. All they want is how much I'm gonna take home at the end of the week. That's what they're looking at. And we're not gonna attract anybody unless we move what we pay.
I think what we need to do here, we'll vote these separate. I think we need to have a vote on the COLA excluding the sheriff's department. Then we'd have a vote on the pay raise for the sheriff's department. Is that agreeable with everybody?
I think that's necessary.
Do what?
I think it's necessary.
Yes.
I mean, that's a plan.
So the floor is open for a motion for the COLA for everybody except excluding the sheriff's department. Do I have a motion?
What percent?
Up
That's
to the body.
what we're,
Okay, not bad.
I make a motion, we give 5% COLA.
Second.
got a motion, Mr. Holmes, second by Mr. Harville. Is there any discussion on that? Let's do a roll call, please.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain.
Dan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
9 yes.
On everybody, across the board.
Passes 9-1, 4 absent.
Sheriff, except sheriff. 5% for the sheriff now. 5 for everybody and 5%.
Yes,
That's what we'll make.
full and part-time.
They're not gonna get, no, they're not
All
included.
employees excluding the sheriff's.
Now I'll open the floor for a motion for the sheriff's department.
I'll make a
Motion.
motion,
Go ahead, Kyle.
and I'll probably be looked at when I say this, but I think we need to give the sheriff's department the 10% raise as well as the 5% COLA.
We,
Total 15.
Total of 15%.
I would second that motion.
It's on the floor.
have motion by Mr. Walker, second by Mr. Carden. Is there any discussion?
I have a question,
Yes.
because this is reoccurring, and not to criticize anybody, especially a sheriff's department, it's a wonderful idea, but at 15%, would we be giving them a COLA next year? Could we give them a COLA next year? I'm asking a question because I don't know. At 5% this year and plus 10%, that's 15%. Could we afford to give them a COLA next year? I don't know.
We'll just have to cross that when we get there, see what our budget's
Cross that when we
like.
get there.
Didn't we just vote not to? Wouldn't that vote for, accept the sheriff's department?
Commissioner Smith?
The sheriff is asking, I think, for 10%. Right?
Yes.
That's what he's wanting. Well, if we're already gonna give everybody 5%, then we'll just be needing to give the sheriff 5% more, and that way he'll have his 10%.
Mr. Mayor, how will that affect other administrative offices?
The 10% plus the 5%, I mean, there'll be some discussion, I'm sure. I mean, I can't disagree with the body's idea of working with the sheriff's department. Might be excessive to go 10% plus the 5.
I'm a new guy. I guess I'm working on something that we're all talking about, obviously, but maybe it'd be good if Chad could, maybe echo, we have a new jail. And no matter what we like or dislike about it, it is going to open. End of story.
That's correct.
And I would just like for it to be publicly again, we're here talking about a lot of money to a lot of people. What would happen if we opened it tomorrow and did not have the 23, is that correct? 22 to fully staff what you need? I mean, what's the exact ramifications?
Right now, last Thursday when I presented, I was 30 short. On the 9th this month, I'll be 32 short.
And just, I mean, how does that trickle? I mean, when the Citizen Tribune gets a hold of that, right? How do they put that on the headline of?
Certified, do you? You won't certify.
We,
You won't certify.
TCI will not certify.
Right, I mean, right.
Just to clarify, that is $1.27 million
Recurring.
reoccurring.
So figure your pennies.
Quote that one again, please.
$1.27 million reoccurring.
It's on 5% every year. Recurring. Recurring.
Unless pennies.
I think that's at the 15%.
Mr. Mayor,
5, 10, or
10 and the 5?
If we voted in.
Please clarify, is that at the 5% or the 15%? So that,
Be the 15%.
Thank you.
Because the 10% is 870,000, and what they did was take half of that 870 and add it to the 870, give you 1.2 something. of
Thank you.
recurring expenses. Yes, ma'am. Commissioner?
and we haven't spoke about any raises, unless I've missed it, for county clerk's office, have we?
Well, that would be, no, we have not as far as salary adjustment.
Okay.
However, if you give that 5% COLA, that may increase that one.
Okay. Is that 5% COLA, that's across the board?
That is across the board. Every employee,
For the county.
every employee in this county,
Okay.
5% increase.
I understand. Okay.
Except the sheriff.
Correct.
I just want to know,
Yes.
and I want the sheriff to understand, I appreciate everything, but
Right.
we've got to look at this. You're fixing to, if you vote this in, you're fixing to surpass everybody else in administrative offices in this courthouse and over yonder too. That's not going to set good.
Got a motion on the floor. Do a roll call. I mean,
The 10%.
I agree with what Rodney said, Mr. Long said, but at the same time, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm a big proponent of our sheriff's department. I know we got clerks making $15, $16 an hour, we got deputies making $17 an hour. I don't think, in my mind, that to me, it's a no-brainer. These guys strap weapons on their hips. They wear bulletproof vests to go to work. Now, to me, that's a very noble calling, and we need to make sure we don't put our sheriff in a no-win situation.
May I?
Yes.
Just looking at what the sheriff's department gave us last week, by the 10%, and I'll make sure I have my numbers right, where we would be above 2 counties and below 2 counties.
But they're going through the same process we're doing right now,
Correct.
too, so.
Correct. Just saying that we're gonna be up, and they were still gonna be below at 10%.
But does that include,
starting pay for a corrections officer is $17.50. If you give a 10% increase, you're looking at $1.70 additional.
$19.25.
$1.71. What was that number?
$19.25.
$19.25.
And Greene County is $18.80. Granger County is $19.70. And Cott County is $18.27. And Hawkins is $22.12.
does that include COLA?
Oh, no.
That's what they're getting right now.
No.
They're going through the budget process, same
Yeah.
as us. So they're very likely to get a COLA, maybe a percentage increase. I don't know. It's tough.
All this is admirable. Just realize, it is, we have a lot of other employees. Very admirable. Now, I don't disagree with any of the conversation, but they're all valuable as well, so.
Well, I like the 10%. I'd love to give them 30%,
Right.
but I like the 10%. I know Sheriff Mullins and his staff have sit down and pondered that. I like the 10%. Okay?
So the motion's on the floor, it's 15%, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, this jail justice center is a 50-year investment for this county.
That's correct.
And we've had a lot of money, time, and effort to make it a showcase in this county, and to not fund it would be.
I agree, and again, lost in this is what Commissioner Horner just pointed out. It is a 40 to 50-year project investment, not a project, 40 to 50-year investment. But on that, we're just now incurring. It didn't matter again what size we built, where we built, how it built. We had to add more employees. That's what we're seeing. That's what this is. This is the hard fact that we are incurring new employees. That is the hard fact.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if, let's just say that it does not pass the 15%, can we go back again and ask another number?
If it doesn't pass here,
Yeah.
you can, yes.
Or you can amend.
Can
That
we-
is a 5%, 5-cent tax increase, what it boils down to.
Okay, at today's, I think,
At estimated
estimated rate, that would
estimated.
be 5 cents on your property tax. Yes.
You know, I'm fortunate to do what I do, and I make good money, and I can't complain. I never will. I'm very thankful. But I go into a lot of communities, help a lot of people, do a lot of things. And I sat across the table with mayors and councils a lot to talk about how much they need to raise their water bills, their sewer, or what have you. But our county has a jail. Again, this is the first new thing we've had. I've lived here since 2001. There's another new big something coming. We have a high school we have high schools that play on a singular field. Our county's not done a great job of planning. There's gonna be big things coming up again, and we're gonna be sitting around this table, if I'm here fortunate to be. This is future discussions. Our county's just not done well on long-term planning. And we're catching up in a hurry, and it's unfortunate.
Can we amend now, or can we have to
No.
wait?
We've got motion on the floor.
But she can amend the motion.
Okay.
She can amend the motion as far as what you have a motion and a second on the floor, and you can amend that motion at this point. And vote on the amendment, and then you go back to the original motion. Or you can vote this one up or down and start again.
Roll call, please.
10% plus 5% COLA.
Yes, 10% plus 5% COLA.
Debbie Ahern,
No.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain.
Stan Harville,
No.
Bobby Hahn,
No.
Tim Horner,
No.
Rodney Long,
No.
Wayne Neesmith,
No.
Mike Reed,
No.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
Motion does not pass. 2 yes, 7 no, 1 abstain, 4
Mr. Chairman,
Does not.
I'd like to make a motion that we go with the 10% as requested by the sheriff for the Hamblen County Sheriff's Department employees.
I second that.
We have a first by Mr. Harville with a 10% and a second by Mr. Hong. Is there any discussion?
I think it's prudent of us to do just that, so that next year we can look at cost of living adjustments and so down the road. But I absolutely believe that they're underpaid, and we need to do something to help them out to retain employees.
Keep in mind, we will have the study that will give us direction more too, so.
That is correct. We expect the salary study to come, and doesn't have to be implemented at the minute. You can pick and choose how you implement a salary study.
Is there any other discussion? Roll call, please,
COLA for 10%.
for 10%, yes.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Abstain.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
What was the vote again?
9 to 1,
Thank you.
Motion carries.
9 with 1 abstain.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if we can, we've got about 3 more here. If we can get, I think we can get through them real quick before we get to the school, and then we'll adjourn.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that. We got
I'm here at your
5
pleasure.
it's 5 till 8, so let's carry on.
All right, then, tab number 60, that's our debt service fund. We anticipate building the fund balance by $78,000 this year in our debt service.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Hong. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 61, Special Debt Service Fund. This is the landfill bonds. The principal and interest expense is all reimbursed by the landfill, the solid waste board.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Walker. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Okay, tab 62. Tab 62, Highway Capital Projects. This will leave $1.8 million in this fund for paving projects.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Long, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Ahern. Any discussion?
This is the other area that, you know, our county population says is number one, is roads. Right now, we've got $50 wheel tax, correct me if I'm wrong, 23 going strictly to paving,
That's correct.
27 going to the
General fund.
general fund. That $27 needs to go to funding paving too. Anything in wheel tax ought to go to the roads. I'll go to my grave trying to preach that. I know it will mean, I'll say it, a tax increase. It's about 10 cents, I think. It'd be 5 cents.
At 27, you'd have to come up with, is it $1.4 million?
Amanda might be able to help me here, but 27 in the wheel tax times about 62,000 vehicles.
Right. I think that's what I figured, it's about 1.4. Well, at 100, you know, and I was doing my 10 cents off 162,000 for a penny. All right, if it goes to 200,000, you're talking about 5 cents.
That's right.
There's only one way to substitute that.
That is correct.
Yeah, there's only one way to substitute it.
That is
But
correct.
I honestly think the people of Hamblen County would be very appreciative that we put that money toward that.
1.7.
1.7, okay.
300,000.
I mean, that's,
I'm just making that argument.
yes, sir.
Mr. Warner?
We have, and a lot of people don't know it, but this legislative body over the years has only raised taxes twice in 18 years.
Yeah.
In 2017, ESCO sued the county for raises for the sheriff's department. That was 14 cents. And then in 2018, my first year here, we raised 3 cents to start the jail project. So just keep that out there.
I'll say this too, and God rest my dad's soul, I argued with him about it. But, you know, I said,
We gotta do that.
you pat yourself on the back about not raising taxes for 6, 8, 10 years in a row, and then you raise them 20 cents. I think people would rather see a couple of cents every 2 or 3 years. It's a lot easier on folks.
I want to thank everybody tonight for,
Just to clarify,
oh, we didn't vote for that, did we?
yeah,
Well, I'm going to go home now.
I took us off the rail, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mayor, you got anything?
well, no, we need to vote that, and then I'll have
roll-
that ending
roll call.
comment.
Roll call. Do a roll call on this.
Take 27 cents out of general fund.
We're doing the,
We're
we're,
going to do a roll call on this one, please.
Well, no, that's not a motion. That's not a motion.
just as is, we're not going to vote.
There's not, Mr. Chairman, I think you just need to take a motion on that last one to accept the 1.8. Commissioner Harville
thought we
did not
did that.
make a motion to amend anything.
No, I'm just throwing that out there. That's a discussion for another day as we come to revenue.
Yes.
I thought we got a first and second on it. We got a first and a second.
Yes.
Just didn't vote that.
So we just need a roll call.
Well, or, yeah, I don't know that you need a roll call on this one.
I want to get a roll call on this, one, please.
Yeah.
All right, state the motion.
Motion to leave 1.8 million for paving projects.
That's that $23, right?
Yes, that's the $23 is what that
So
is.
that's what we've been doing.
Yes, yes, there's no change.
Yeah.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Jamie Carden,
Yes.
Ben Green,
Abstain.
Jim Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Rodney Lott,
Yes.
Wayne Easter,
Yes.
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Kyle Walker,
Yes.
9 yes, 11 abstain, 4 absent.
Motion passes. I want everybody to Thursday, June the 5th, we most likely will have to put out a notice to have a meeting next Thursday on June the 5th. It would be at 5 o'clock in here. You need to say something. I want to say
Just
something.
wanted my suggestion, because of your agenda tonight, I would suggest that you vote to recess this meeting and take it up on the next available meeting, whether you make that June the 5th or the, you know, I think we have time to make that public announcement, correct? But I would, because of your agenda tonight, either set it aside or vote to recess this meeting, and when you take it up, it's only for that purpose. Or, you can vote to remove this from your agenda tonight and start again on the 5th.
I do want to say one thing before we recess. And I respect Jamie very much, but I do want to say this county has stepped the plate. We do have a new school. We have funded money to do Lincoln and Meadowview. And we redone West High School. This commission has done a lot, but you know, we didn't get here overnight in roads and stuff like that. You will not get out of it overnight. So, I just wanted to state that.
So are you suggesting that you recess this or close this meeting and
We're
remove
gonna,
that from your agenda?
gonna recess.
Okay. Well, the only issue with parliamentary here is if you bring this, if you recess, all you can bring back on June the 5th would be the school budget.
No, we don't want to do that. So I would think that we would need a motion to remove that from this agenda.
Yes, take a vote of the body that you
Yes.
remove that and you close
They,
this meeting
they
and
most likely would be other things we need to discuss.
that, I agree. That's why I pointed out.
Do I have a motion to remove the school budget consideration from this
So moved.
agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Harville, second by Ms. Ahern. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Therefore, now you can build a new agenda and
Thank you all very much.
Quick
We're-
question
we're
before,
adjourned.
before you adjourn.
Thank you.
We got a draft 2 on ours. Was it available to the public on the website so they could follow what we were doing tonight?
4 or 5 pages, and I can add that.
It wasn't available then, right? It needs to be available to keep everything transparent. Which way you going?